Good morning, and welcome to another Ageless Energy Show. We are excited to jump in. Today's a slightly different twist on a topic around inflammation. Now, I actually interviewed Dr. Laurie Shemek a while back, and she talked about fatflammation. That was the name of her book. Today, I'm going to talk about the difference between fat, like gaining fat cells, and an inflamed body. So, it's going to be a slightly different twist because we actually see this quite a bit of women in particular. Their body is inflamed and they're not quite sure. They think they're gaining fat, but they're not gaining weight. Their body composition is changing, not in a good way. So I'm going to explain that to you guys here, all coming up. So sit back and enjoy. If you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been helping women gain energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So if that's you, you've come to the right place. I'm going to dive in. This is live. You may be watching a replay on another platform. We're live in our Facebook, private Facebook group called Ageless Energy, facebook.com/Ageless Energy. If you want to join us there for any lives, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'm just pulling you guys up to make sure I am in the right place. And this is live. You may be watching a replay. And then, unfortunately, I think I might have to look into a third-party app. Good morning, Sandra. I don't particularly get live comments, but I appreciate you guys, your comments and questions live. I'll refresh my page to see if I can see any questions coming in or comments, which are all appreciated. I'll tell you, like, this has happened a number of times in the past. Someone will come to me and they'll say, I feel like my clothes aren't fitting, like my clothes are not fitting well. They're not fitting like they used to. So their clothes are actually getting tight, but the scale isn't necessarily going up. It's certainly not, it's not going down, but they feel like, they're like, I'm not gaining weight, but I'm certainly not losing. So they're disappointed they're not losing weight. They're disappointed that their clothes aren't fitting properly or they're fitting differently, which means less comfortable and tighter. So they might have a pair of pants that they can't wear anymore because they don't fit into it, but they don't see weight gain on the scale. And this is an interesting topic because I think it's hard for a lot of people to see if you're not looking at it every day. So some like if someone comes to me in this situation, to me, at least to me, like as a coach for 20 years, it's like, okay, your body's inflamed and it's probably swollen, bloated, and there's some underlying issues, whether that's digestion, stress, equaling increase in cortisol levels, etc. So we'll get into that as I move throughout the show. But again, you're welcome to ask questions below. But I mean, those are the common symptoms. Like if you feel like you have a puffy face, tight rings, and these are symptoms that I hear from women dealing with this. And it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily weight gain, and I feel like that's where the confusion comes in. But like bloating is super interesting because it seems like women can tell if they're bloated maybe during their cycle, but in most cases they feel like you see, it's called the menobelly. You see it all the time, and that's often digestion in particular. But we have to look at why is your digestion off track, and why are you bloated, and what are the things that are contributing to that? Because I wouldn't say it's necessarily normal. Like we have deemed the bloat normal because we just accept it because it's challenge. It goes against the everyday norms to change your lifestyle to remove that belly bloat. But there's other things, like there's chronic pain in your joints. There's I hear often brain fog, or I think we'll have to come up with a new term like menobrain, like menobelly. But I hear this like brain fog, and there's all a reason for it. And if there's a reason for it, and there's action steps that got you there, then there's action steps that you can take away from that. So hopefully we'll shine some light on here on this, I would call a shorter show. You could look at, so some of the top inflammation triggers or things that could be causing you to be inflamed. You could look at allergens. That's something that some people deal with. I have a slightly different perspective or spin on allergens. Maybe I'll share it another time. But in particular, like if you're allergic to, let's say, gluten, then that could be causing inflammation in your body. And that's like, there's like this huge, I don't know if it's still happening or if it's still around, but there's like a huge gluten craze. And I kind of think that's gone, or at least it's certainly not as prevalent as it was. Sandra said good morning, and Sandy and Cheryl both said good morning. Good morning to you, ladies. Thanks for joining live. So I don't think the whole gluten thing is there as, how can I say, apparent or as deeply as it has been. But it's a real thing. I feel like we could probably get rid of that allergen, but maybe for a different topic. Dairy's a big one. A lot of people are allergic to dairy. I think it's one of the top allergens, or maybe I think it is the top allergen. I mean, sugar, like without a doubt. Well, we hear this firsthand from our members is once they start to clean up their diet, they feel good, less pain, energized, and then they'll have a weekend or maybe an evening. And I'm not one to say you can't have a pizza or you can't have fries, whatever it is. Like I had one of our members that like was so strict. They didn't go off track, didn't do anything. They hadn't had like a dinner with their husband, and I was like, I actually encouraged it. I was like, you should like go and have dinner and relax and have something that's not on the meal plan. Like she's seen incredible results, and like obviously she just doing exactly what she said, doing exactly what we said. And but that's like I'm not a person that says like we're not that mindset of lack. Like you need to control your choices and make better choices, and that doesn't mean that you're on a restrictive diet, but we hear I'm saying that we hear from our members, the ladies that we work with, if they're having if they have sugar and they go off track, they're in pain, like their body's inflamed. That's what's happening. So that's where you may see that bloat, but that I wouldn't say just bloat. It's like the swollen, like your body is swollen, your hands are swollen, your joints are swollen. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy part: is some people, their body is always inflamed, all the time. Like their body is always in I would say a negative state of being, like an inflammatory state. They're just always inflamed. They're always in pain. I would say that's probably along the lines of fibromyalgia, of I'm always in pain. And you have to look at your lifestyle choices. Like, oh, it's just I've been diagnosed with this. See here, I'm going to get into someone getting upset because their doctor told them there's nothing they can do about it. I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. There's nothing I can do. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to eat whatever I want because this is what I'm stuck with. I don't believe that at all. And not to say that there's different levels of it, but I mean, there's so many, like everyone's looking for a label. Like, I'm going to rant here. Everyone, like, osteoporosis. I have osteoporosis. Great. Everyone has osteoporosis. Like, you have that. Like, you have that label, and then what does that mean? Like, that means that you can take action to improve your situation. Arthritis. Everyone's dealing with joint pain at some point, like, probably. Depending on, like, I would suggest depending on the severity, at what time, what age that hits. Hopefully later and later because you're living healthier and healthier. But I just think like that label in particular really restricts people. And I often hear, I'm going to get back on track in a second here. I often hear people looking for a label. Like I'm looking for to be diagnosed with something for what. I actually had a conversation with one of our clients. And I said, well, like, I don't know what's going on. This is happening. I'm going to go see what the doctor says. And I'm like, I think it's this. I'm like, okay. So let's say the doctor tells you that and confirms what you think it is. Then what? And she's like, I don't know. I never thought of that. I said, that diagnosis is just going to give you a label, and it's either going to be empower you, which is rare, or it's going to be a crutch. And you're going to use it to prevent you from doing things to get around that, right? I see that so often. All right, I'm going to get back here. Processed food, another trigger. Okay, so much junk in processed food. Stress, increasing cortisol levels. That's an easy one. We talked about that quite a bit. Stress keeps your body inflamed. And those of you, some of our members are in here. And you know that you don't see the scale move, you don't see your measurements move. If you're stressed out, your body's inflamed, cortisol levels through the roof, your life is upside down. I'm not saying like I go through stressful states. We all do. I'm not saying there's something wrong with you. I'm just saying that that's a major cause. So we have to continually do things to reduce stress in our life. And like I do that on a regular basis, and it's like it's not always beneficial, right? Like you have negative friends, that's tough. Sorry, we're busy. Right? Everyone probably has negative family members. You spend less time with them. Most people don't want to do that, but that's what it takes. I have like customers. Sorry, we're not the right business for you. Like every time we send you an order, you're going to complain about it. There's plenty of other supplement businesses that probably want your business. We don't. Same thing with like I've actually recently let go of a distributor. That was thousands of dollars that they brought in on a regular basis. Like not dealing with it. And it's the same. Like you have to decide what's worth your stress levels. Is it the toxic friend or family member? Is it the toxic customer or coworker? Is it your boss? And how challenging it is to find a new job? I get it, but that doesn't mean it's worth your health, in my opinion. Gut health is a big one. Poor digestion, which you can tell if it's poor digestion, gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. It's all on the same level. And working on your like good gut bacteria is what you need. Often we see the opposite of like a body that's acidic instead of alkaline, a body that doesn't have proper gut bacteria. Because like here's the thing, a lot of our ladies, I'm like, you guys should be having prebiotics or probiotics in fermented foods. And it's really difficult. Oh, it doesn't taste good. I don't want to do that. It's hard to do it consistently. Like, okay, well, you made a choice. You're making a choice, right? To improve digestion or to not. Like that's a choice. We all have choices all the time. Not sleeping well, is a big one, but there's many different reasons for sleep in particular. It's kind of its own topic, but if your body's inflamed, you're probably not going to sleep well. And then the toxic load is something we don't talk about too much. I feel like the only time we talk about it is when we do our detoxes. We recommend living a detox lifestyle, and that's detoxing regularly. So that's detoxing regularly from negative people in your life. That's detoxing from cosmetics, shampoos, toothpaste, like soap. I went to the gym this morning, had an ice bath, hot tub, shower. In the shower, it's cluttered with junk that men are like washing themselves with. They're just filling their body with toxins, and women are worse. That includes cleaning products, medications. Like there's a number of things that we should be paying attention to. I think we should pay attention to every single thing we put in our body, and that's probably a one phrase to sum up this conversation. Pay attention to everything you put in your body, and that will tell you how inflamed you are. Rhonda jumped in here. That's all good. Rhonda says, oops, I'm a bit late. And then Cheryl says, I have fibromyalgia, and my change diet has definitely helped the pain. I still get days, but for the most part, no pain. Oh, we still have like rough days. Thanks for sharing that, Cheryl. Cheryl's actually one of our members. Cheryl just hit the minus 25 pound phase or range, which is certainly exciting, but Cheryl's come leaps and bounds from reduced pain to getting stronger with workouts. Like there's so much benefits to getting yourself on track. Well, it's pretty hard to get yourself on track, but you're doing it. So how do you tell the difference between just like an increase in fat, like stored body fat? This one is difficult if you're not looking. Here's the challenge for me is like I can see in progress pictures. That's not a challenge, that's a benefit, because if I'm looking at progress pictures from our members and our clients that I'm working with, I can tell. Like it's pretty clear because I've been looking at them for so long. Like we have ladies that have lost like you guys. You guys have seen like amazing results. You lost like 15 pounds, which is great. And some of our ladies are like, I don't really notice much at all. And I'm like, so we get progress pictures. I'm like, look at this picture, and then and they're like, okay. And then sometimes I'll do a video, and I'm like, this is gone. This is firmed up, and it's just funny. Then you have the challenge, right? If some of people come into the program, they don't want to do progress pictures, and I'm like, then there's no way to really tell. Like this one in particular, you're not able to tell on the scales, but if the scale's not moving down or not moving at all, and you're puffy and your clothes aren't fitting the opposite way, then there's a problem, and you're not able to tell because we're not looking at a scale, right? Or we can't look at your progress picture. So I still have people coming in the program that are like, don't know about the progress pictures. Like, okay. Let's see. So stored fat is usually a bit slower. Like it's slower to accumulate. It's rare when it's like I woke up like I woke. Here's the inflammation part. I woke up in pain, or I woke up in discomfort, or I woke up swollen. That's usually more inflammation than oh my gosh, I'm slowly gaining weight. Like what? And then here I often I'm doing everything right, and then but the scale keeps going up. The problem there. That's um that's definitely fat, like gained body fat versus inflammation. Okay, let's go to my next segment here of tips. Like, what can we actually do about it? I feel like I kind of mixed that in already, but anti-inflammatory foods would be a great idea. Those of you in our map, like I see, like Rhonda, Cheryl, Sandra. It says a few other people are watching, but I can't tell if there's no comments. But your meals are anti-inflammatory. That's what we do. We create easy to digest foods that are anti-inflammatory, gluten-free, like everything that we do. You don't have to worry about it. If you guys are kind of doing this on your own, you have to work hard to add these in. Like for example, leafy greens, the really like the antioxidants in particular help with inflammatory or inflammation, but like bright color, like bright red green peppers, bright red peppers, for example, yellow peppers, orange peppers. Those that would have more antioxidants than like a um, maybe a beige or dark colored or no color, like a white potato. Like that's not really that's a carb, right? You could look at berries are really nice. Just be careful with the berries because the like sugar content. It's rarely an issue. Like I rarely see someone eating too much fruit that increases their body weight. You can look at the spike in your blood sugar levels. That gets a little bit in depth. I probably wouldn't worry about that too much. Like you can have berries. I just feel like depending on where you are, if someone's like really strict and like has a few pounds to lose to get where they want to go, maybe you have to look at the sugar content from fruit. We have less fruit in our meal plans. You guys know that, but turmeric is a good one. I put turmeric. We have an evening elixir with our collagen and cinnamon. Cinnamon's really good to balance blood sugar levels. And then you have your turmeric for anti-inflammatory properties. And then I put collagen in there for digestion. Um, well, collagen has a number of different benefits, but I use that combo usually in the evening for an elixir. Like at this point in our life, our family has an evening elixir that sounds like that. And then we have in the morning, I have our morning shake. It's actually right here. This is my morning shake. So this has all of what I said in there, along with our vanilla protein and maca. Okay, so I guess I just kind of went over supplements here. Is next on my list is so look at collagen for anti-inflammatory to reduce, like not so much anti-inflammatory. Well, yes, that's what I meant. Anti-inflammatory to help with your joint pain. We also just talked about your gut bacteria. Collagen is really good for that to help with digestion. It's also good for your joints. So not a bad idea to grab a good quality collagen. Magnesium is really good for stress. As we're stressed and increase our cortisol levels, we're in a flight or fight state. Magnesium is a natural relaxant. So if you consider having magnesium on a regular basis, that would be one of the things I would suggest when I say you should be doing something every day to reduce your stress. Magnesium would be one of them. Deep breathing, possibly journaling, going for a walk in nature. Like these are all things that should be done on a regular basis to help reduce your stress levels. Maca is really good for balancing hormones. Like that's one. It's it's an adaptogen. It has a number of different health benefits. It offers natural boosts of energy. I wouldn't call it an expensive product. I think everyone should be, like every woman in this age group. Men can have it too. I have it every day. But maca is definitely one that should be considered. And then I would probably go with like greens in particular. Like if you're not, most people aren't getting enough veggies, right? That's why we have our greens. So we have chlorella and spirulina. Those are great for antioxidants and inflammatory purposes. So those could be considered, especially if you're not getting um, especially if you're not getting the greens that you need or should be. As I mentioned in the top, I said leafy greens, bright colored veggies, those all help. And I said berries, but um, hydration, staying hydrated, and that, like, I suppose that would sound contradictory because if you drink too much water, you feel bloated, but the opposite, like if you're dehydrated, we run into a number of health issues. And that's, I feel like that's a major one because so many people drink so little water. And then daily habits is my last tip here. I'm gonna wrap it up here for you guys, but I kind of talked about this, but the sleep, this is all like overall wellness, but I suggested it as reducing stress, but overall sleep, like improving your sleep habits, having an evening routine, going to bed at the same time in the evening, getting up at the same time, like resetting your, what is the word? I can't think of it. Your circadian rhythm. That's the word I was looking for. Resetting your circadian rhythm definitely helps being consistent. I put here walks, probably walk like outside. That's best. Deep breathing and then reducing screen time as often as you can. Rhonda says, since I've been taking your collagen, I am seeing a difference. Awesome. Fantastic, Rhonda, great to hear. Can you tell me, I don't know what that is, Melissa. Melissa says, do you know anything about HBM? Tell me more, and I will tell you what I know. I think I'm pretty honest. If I don't know something, I'll just tell you. It's funny. It's funny I laugh at that because I feel like a lot of times, like, you ask someone something like an expert and they don't really know, so they make something up. Like, and you could tell they're making it up. Just tell me you don't know. Okay, let's wrap it up. Key points. Inflammation is a little bit sneaky. You got to pay attention to everything you put in your body. Are you in an inflamed state? But you can make a change. You can make a difference. It's not always you're gaining weight. Like some of you may be watching that don't need to gain weight. You may be you may be inflamed, and that's it. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long week. We have a big weekend. We're gonna go to Canmore. A handful of our MAT members are going to Canmore too for a walk run. Dorothy's running all 3 runs, so I'm sure she'd appreciate any personal message of encouragement. She's going to run a 5, 10, and a 21K Friday. I think she's doing the 5K tonight, and then the 21K on, that's a half marathon on Saturday, and then the 10K on Sunday. So it's going to be a big weekend for us. And sorry, I know I'm dragging my heels. Let's see. Overview is a chemical that is made in the body, breaks down. Leucine is in me. No, I don't, Melissa. Sorry. Thank you for the question. I wish I could help, but I don't have any experience with that. Let's see. That's it. Let us know in the comments if this was helpful. Do you guys like shows like this? Do you have show suggestions? Our MAP program right now is on pause. We're not taking new members. We have something a little special for current members. And then we have something exciting coming up. We didn't share that. We have so it's Dorothy's 40th on Monday, this coming Monday. And we have a special that we're not telling you what it is, but you guys should be on our email list. You should be on our text list. And that would help you be first to learn about what we have coming up. If you're a MAP member, you already know. Don't say anything. But I'm trying to find our graphics. Oh, okay. Anyways, we have something special coming up on Monday. It's going to be fantastic. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining live. Appreciate your questions, comments. If you have questions afterwards, you can ask below, and I'll do my best to find them. Sometimes I just don't see them, but that's it. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.